The Queen Who Was Buried Alive, Catherine Howard's Last Hours. Chapter 1. The Silken Noose of Privilege. Catherine Howard was only 19 years old when her screams first echoed off the stone walls of the Tower of London. She had once been draped in silks, laughing among tapestries and courtiers, the new favorite of King Henry VIII. But power in the Tudor court was a sharp thing, a poisoned jewel. Now, stripped of her titles and accused of adultery, Catherine's final days would become a whispered legend far darker than history dared to record. The guard didn't look her in the eye anymore. To them, she had become a corpse awaiting formalities. She had no royal advisors left to defend her, no friends at court to petition mercy. She was alone, terrifyingly, impossibly alone. The Queen's cell had once belonged to Anne Boleyn, another of Henry's doomed wives. It was dark, cold, and empty, save for one object, a warped, rusting mirror that leaned awkwardly against the far wall. The mirror was not standard royal furnishing. It had been left behind, intentionally or not, by Anne, and according to the Tower's night watch, no one had dared move it since. Chapter 2. The Mirror. The mirror was thin and tall, framed in blackened wood, warped by age. But it wasn't the appearance that unsettled Catherine. It was the reflection. It always seemed wrong. One night, as moonlight crept through the arrow-slit window, Catherine saw herself blink, but not in sync with the girl in the mirror. She backed away, her breath misting in the cold air. Then the mirror fogged from within, as if someone were breathing on the other side. And in that mist, scrawled slowly by a finger unseen, appeared a name. Catherine. She ran to the cell door, screaming for the guard. "She's here, and is here. The mirror is wrong," she cried. The guard looked through the hatch with pity, then shut it. This wasn't the first time she had screamed about the mirror. It would be the last. Chapter 3. The Secret Order. Unbeknownst to Catherine, a sealed letter arrived at the Tower that night, delivered by a man in crimson livery bearing no name. It was not signed by King Henry, nor did it bear any official wax. It read, "Let her die in silence. Let her be entombed by feared Anne Oblade. No crowd, no noise that we are finished with her." The warden, a man weary of the king's bloody whims, stared at the letter with unease. A traditional execution would require a priest, witnesses, public statement. But this was darker than royal justice. This was erasure. Chapter 4. The Butchers of Seville. 2 foreign men arrived the following morning. Spanish, with faces like cracked parchment and eyes hollowed by years of quiet cruelty. They wore leather aprons and carried no sword, only wooden mallets, rusted nails, and a canvas sack. The Tower guards pretended not to see them. They entered Catherine's cell. She asked if they were there to bring her to the block. They said nothing. Instead, they laid a coffin before her. "Get in," one whispered in broken English. She froze. The king demanded silence. Her lips trembled. "Alive." He did not answer, but they seized her. She kicked, clawed, screamed. Her fingers tore the skin from one man's face. They beat her until she could no longer resist. Then they nailed the lid shut. One nail at a time. Each thud was answered by a muffled sob from within. Chapter 5. The Grave Disturbed. She was buried not in a royal tomb, but beneath the chapel floor, where traitors were thrown like bones in a pit. It was shallow, unmarked. The grave digger, a man named Elias, said the coffin moved as he lowered it. It was breathing, he whispered to the priest. The wood was warm. That night, the chapel guards heard something. A scratching, then a scream. Short, muffled, ragged, then nothing. By morning, the soil above her coffin was disturbed, as if something had tried to dig its way out. Chapter 6. The Mirror Lives On. The cell where Catherine died was cleaned the next day. Straw replaced, walls scrubbed, but the mirror remained. No one dared touch it. In the following years, multiple prisoners were housed there. All of them reported the same thing. They saw a young woman in the mirror who did not reflect their movements. She mouthed words they could not hear, and sometimes, just before sleep, she would point behind them. In 1612, A young nobleman was found dead in that cell. Eyes wide, mouth torn open. He had scratched the word alive into the wall with his fingernails. The mirror was finally removed, locked in the tower's subbasement. Forgotten, or so they hoped. Chapter 7. The Whispering Queen. In 2022, a historical researcher gained access to the tower's archives for a private study. He found the mirror, covered in a canvas sheet, wrapped in chains. He removed it, stared into it. What he saw was not himself, but a girl, a queen, eyes wide, mouth torn open, whispering without sound. He recorded a video, posted it online. It was viewed 1.2 million times in 2 days. But when the viewers paused at minute 217, they all reported the same thing. In the corner of the screen, behind the researcher, a woman, standing, dirt-streaked, scratching at the wall, and mouthing 3 words. I wasn't dead. Epilogue. The soil still shifts. Catherine Howard is buried beneath the chapel floor of St. Peter ad Vincula, within the Tower of London. At least, that's what they say. But the stone above her grave is often cracked. The soil sometimes rises, and visitors to the chapel frequently report one thing: a faint knocking from underneath their feet. Every February 13th, and if you stay long enough, you may hear a voice. Just 3 words, over and over. Let me out. Chapter 8. The Archivist's Death. 3 weeks after the video of the mirror went viral, the researcher who found it was found dead in his flat. No signs of forced entry, no wounds, just a shattered mirror on the floor, and a single phrase scrawled in blood across the glass shards. She showed me the coffin. Scotland Yard refused to comment on the death, but a private email leaked from an intern revealed the last thing the archivist ever wrote. She asked me to lie down inside it. Chapter 9. The Coffin Room. Months later, the tower guards noticed strange sounds coming from the subbasement. Clawing, a heartbeat, slow, then fast. When they finally broke the rusted padlocks, they found only dust. The mirror? Gone. And something else. A new coffin, nailed shut, but inside, scratches. So many scratches. And hair. Auburn. Still growing. The coffin was reburied that night. Deep, under gravel and stone. The record sealed. But every decade since, someone goes missing. A young woman. Last seen visiting the tower. Drawn, always, to the cell that housed the mirror. Drawn to the whisper. Let me out. Trade places. Final chapter. The Queen walks again. In 2031, restoration crews returned to the Tower of London to repair the chapel's fractured flooring. Again. But this time, they found something new beneath the stones. A second coffin, older than expected, buried deeper than the others. Unmarked. No royal seal. Just one word carved faintly into the wood. Catherine. When the coffin was opened under archaeological supervision, it was empty. No bones. No fabric. Only long scratches along the inside lid, and a broken fingernail wedged in a corner. No one could explain it. That night, a security camera caught footage of a woman wandering the tower grounds barefoot, soaked in mud, wearing a shredded white shift soaked red at the cuffs. When the guards arrived, she was gone. But on the mirror mounted in the security room, someone had scrawled in condensation, "I got out," and below it, in smaller letters, in a hand too modern to be hers, "Who will lie in my place?"